What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome me back to the channel. I appreciate you being here, and let's get into it. I know I was gone for a little while. People had some questions about if I just left the channel altogether because they started seeing me collaborating and working on some other stuff. And I'll probably address some of it, other stuff I just won't. But um, I don't know. Certain elements of what I was doing was fun. Others made me realize like this is just not it. But I don't know. My cousin is calling me Jax. Let's just address this gigantic monstrosity happening right here. Um, Humpty Dumpty had a big fall. Seizures. I've been having seizures like crazy over the last couple of years, and like trouble sleeping, a whole lot of stuff. It just caught up, and I kind of tipped over coming down the stairs and completely shattered my elbow. So I have something I'm working on. What I'll be like fully addressing that, but long story short, that's what happened there. Um, I don't even know what to say about it, but it's one of those things. It's kind of fitting in with a couple of themes that I've been dealing with in this last year. This year started out crazy, where I quit my job and the same day had an accident and crashed up my car, and it's been a real adventure since then. So, and just paying attention to some of the themes in my life. One of them is just about letting go. And it's funny, before I was reading this book called The Art of Letting Go, I think that theme came back around just because it didn't stick as much as it was supposed to. That was a book I had a lot of fun reading. It's a pretty short one, but it's one that I enjoyed. It's like in the database. I got to find it. It's somewhere, just to go back and refresh. But yeah, that's one of those themes that I've been dealing with, is just the art of letting go. It's been like a tough task for me to try to figure out where's the right time and when is the right time to make certain moves. You have relationships you need to get out of. You have jobs you need to get away from. You find yourself stagnant in situations where it's obviously time to go, and the longer you drag your feet, the more you pay for it. So that's one of those things that's been like, it's made the road a little rougher for me, just because I've been slow to move in certain places. There's been other times where I've been right on time, and then there's other times where it's like, all right, you just like, what is it going to take for you to get it? So I always talk about the themes in my life. I always talk about my imperfections and everything else. Like, this one is no different. For anybody who saw, I did put up a couple of the episodes that we did, just because it was already put out for free. I might as well put it out over here, and I wasn't playing the algorithm game. I wasn't really concerned about that. So if I was trying to do that, I would have waited it out and, gave each individual video an opportunity to build. But I wasn't concerned about that. It was just like, here you go. Also, it was a message at the same time, but I wasn't really too concerned about it. It was just like, I might as well put it out there and, let people enjoy or not enjoy, critique or not critique. I'm kind of interested, but the feedback that I've been getting from a lot of people lets me know I did the right thing in getting out. So that's one of those times where I actually did move in a good amount of time. I mean, it was about 2 months, but at the same time, I was putting off projects that I was already working on my channel that still haven't seen the light of day because I was so busy working in other places. And not a major ill, I still got some lessons out of it and also some blessings. But one of the things I learned is that like not every opportunity needs to be explored. It might seem like a cool idea, but damn, y'all can be harsh, and I appreciate that about y'all, because y'all know I'm live and direct. That's the way I do things. So then having the kind of audience and community that reflects that is a beautiful thing. It kind of lets me know that I'm doing this the right way. The fact that y'all would be so open to just say like, no, that's not it. And what are you doing over there? Like your prestige is taking a hit. Like you actually are bringing your morale down, being in places that you don't need to be, associating with people that you don't need to be associating with, and we can just keep it like that. I understand, and y'all were right. Y'all were right. I almost found myself defending the situation because it's different kind of goals I had for what I was doing, and I tried to explain that to people. And also, I'm not blind. I understand character. I understand there's certain things that I need to be looking out for, and I was looking out for them. And that's why when certain boxes got checked off, that was it for me. That was the finale. That was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm out of here. So no matter what happens from this day forward, I did the best I could. I did the most I could. I brought as much substance to it as I could. But it was just one of those things that was never meant to last. It was never meant to go long term. And I even understood that. But again, I treated it like a job, and I was serious about what I was doing. So that's why I don't consider it a major L. I think I got as much out of it as I could. And also the fact that we had certain conversations where people reached out to me about some of the things that I was speaking on, certain personal experiences that I just share. That's how I am. That's really how I started this whole thing, was just the personal experiences. So bringing that to a podcast, which is supposed to be a joint venture, team effort, all that kind of stuff. One of the things that I noticed is like I got to stop putting myself in places with where it's a thankless job. A lack of appreciation really bothers me. When I see that I'm not respected, then I gotta make some different moves. So, long story short, like I said, it's certain things I don't even want to address because it's not worth it. It's really not worth my time. It's not worth yours either. I promise you. You just learn. You live and you learn. Not everything is a good fit, and so I mean that is what it is. As far as the themes go, I take it back to the accident I had where this is one of those themes. It was like, and this is actually related because when I had the accident, I totaled my car, completely totaled. It was like no amount of repairing that would bring it back to like serviceable. It was over. And I thought about, if you go back a couple of years to what I was going through and, sharing with the channel from the vlogs and all that kind of stuff, everybody knew how I lost everything, including my vehicle. It was like a tough road for me to rebuild from scratch. I was proud of the moment where, like, I worked hard. I was working overtime every single week for months straight. I worked every day. No exaggeration. I worked every day for months. About 4 months straight, I worked every day. And once I got to the point where I could actually purchase the vehicle, I didn't buy it for like style purposes or anything like that. I was trying to find a lot of room in a full size vehicle. I was downsizing from a Yukon, which if I could have found another one of those, I would have been on it like right away. But the idea was just to downsize, kind of live a little more practically for a while until I could get to a place where I wanted to be again. And once I got the car, then I started hearing all the whispers, all the chatter. Everybody was so concerned. And I couldn't hear that. All I could hear was like just negativity. Like, why did you get that car? That's the number one stolen car. And, why do you get that hot ass car? It was like a lot of that stuff being said. And I couldn't appreciate that people were just being concerned. I didn't hear concern. I just heard negativity. It just seemed like, well, hate. Like, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all know what I just went through? Why are y'all not happy for me? So I couldn't hear anything else. And that's absolutely the worst purchase I ever made in my life. That was fun. I had a Charger. I had a lot of fun. If that could have been like my Sunday vehicle and I just pulled it out and have some fun with it and put it back in the garage, that would have been fine. But as an everyday vehicle, It was terrible, and it had everything to do with the attention that it brought me. Like once I put a little style into it, because at first it just looked like a rental car. You know, once I put like my own twist on it, that's really where people started to pay attention. So, you know, pulling up to certain places, it was kind of cool to get the reactions I got from people. But outside of that, you're kind of worried about where I can park the car, where I can leave it, and all that kind of stuff. And that wasn't even the biggest issue. The biggest issue for me was cops, police, and all the different precincts and county lines, and everywhere I was driving around, not just Detroit but Metro Detroit. Like I ran into a lot of problems where cops would just pull me over. Just, we're looking for guns and drugs. What? I work at Amazon. Like, here's my badge. What are you talking about? It was horrible. Like that's by far the worst experience I ever had in just owning a vehicle. It had nothing to do with maintenance, none of that. It was just about the attention it drew, and it was the absolute worst. So there's one of those situations where I have to say, okay, y'all were right. All right, there's no shame in me saying that. It's just one of those things that happens in life, and it is the same thing when it comes to the podcast, where I have to tell y'all again, y'all were right. Okay. Like, I'm sorry. I tried something different. It just wasn't for me. And y'all were concerned for some righteous reasons. All right. I get it. I understand. Like, this is just, I don't know. You know, I don't know what to say other than, like, I'm not scared to take risks. I'm not scared to try things, but that's one of those things that just, it didn't work out. And again, it's no shame in me saying that you were right. I'm actually proud of myself for recognizing certain things on my own without being influenced by other people, and just challenging my own integrity, where I got to a point where it was like, okay, this is not it. This is not it for me. And like from this point forward, like once I recognize certain issues, then it's on me what happens from that point. Because I have been warned in more than one way. And you see, I will address that. You see, this is an issue that I brought up before, and is why I'm always hesitant to call somebody a friend. I'll wait you out. I'll play the long game. I keep people at arm's length because I don't believe you. Like, I've been through certain things with a lot of different people where I know friendship is rare. You're not my friend. A lot of what people call loyalty and friendship is just opportunistic. I've said that. It's opportunistic. It's somebody taking advantage of the moment and the opportunity, seizing the moment to be an opportunist. Opportunity arises and they take advantage of that. But there's no real respect there. There's nothing. You know, it's not substantive. There's no substance there at all. And know when to hold them, know when to fold them. I think if there's one thing that I can really pat myself on the back for, is that as I grow, I'm doing a lot better with just recognizing these things. So I would say I appreciate y'all concern. I thank you for being concerned. I mean, y'all really do care about me. My brother was just getting on me about, I mean, I know you got this thing and you act like people don't like you. You know people love you. Okay, you're right. I know people love me. But when you see some of the situations I go through, you can kind of understand why I would be so apprehensive about just dealing with people in general. It's the forked tongue devils, the snake tongue, you know, the split tongue. It's like on one end you say all of these glowing things, you got all of this praise, and then on the other end you try to discredit everything I ever stood for. So, like, which one is it? You know, I have a really hard time taking people seriously because of that. So, yeah, I really am much more concerned with what I think about myself. When I look in the mirror, I'm not really all that concerned with what people think of me. But when you expose that, like, you know, especially as loudly and boldly, you got to stand on that, you know. But we move forward. I know all of this brings me back to the purpose. This channel has purpose. That's why people are here. You are here because of that purpose. And I got off of the path. So I don't know if this rings true for other people in their life. I know for me, a lot of times you can take a look at what's happening in my life and it'll kind of let you know if I'm walking in step, if I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do. And it's not always about like some confrontation or conflict with people. Sometimes it's just the things that happen. Like, I mean, I was talking to one of my brothers and he was just saying like, maybe God was trying to send you a message. And he said it like almost, that's basically what he was saying to me when I broke my arm. It was just like, maybe God was just trying to like get your attention and send you a message. And he was like, I'm not trying to offend you. It was like, oh no, it's no big deal. Like, I agree. I completely agree. I pay attention to the signs. The fact that I had all of these warnings about more than just like podcasting or anything going on here. But like I said, it's just about walking in step with what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's all bringing me right back home. If I stray too far, then I got to get real back in. That's just the way life works for me. And I'm just learning to appreciate it a whole lot more. I guess the older you get, the more wise you get, supposedly. I can definitely say that's true for me. And I'm happy that I'm paying attention. I'm happy that I have these lessons that I could pass on to other people. And the fact that people reach out to me and say, oh man, you said this, I appreciate you for talking about this. You didn't even know this was going on in my life. Like that's powerful. That's something that lets me know there's a purpose to what I'm doing. There's a reason why I'm doing this. And although I try to focus on like production aspects and all of that kind of stuff, there's even people telling me like save room for, there actually being a space for you because you have something to say. You have this platform, you have something to say, you're actually affecting people. No, it's not millions, but it's okay. Like maybe you don't need to affect millions. Or maybe that's down the line. It's not really about the numbers. It's just about the fact that there's actual impact happening. That how many people have, the hidden dialogue happening behind the scenes where you get texts, you get DMs, you get calls, you get instant messages, all that kind of stuff from people that just watched your content and now they feel emboldened enough to share experience with you about something that happened in their life. Something they might be going through right now or just went through, That's the kind of stuff that apparently I was on this journey for in the first place. So, I already spoke to like the imposter syndrome and all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily that I feel like an imposter, but there's just times where I feel like, okay, I'm doing this work and I don't necessarily see any kind of benefit other than getting the reps in. And I guess that's just because that's a moment of me taking for granted the fact that what I'm doing is helping people in a different kind of way. Some of this is not about me at all. It's actually about what it's doing to help other people. So I understand there's a certain responsibility that is put on my chest and on my shoulders. And that means I have to watch the company I keep, that I have to take this thing very seriously because it is power. And there's a little bit of healing involved as well. So I appreciate y'all for sharing with me just as much as I'm sharing with y'all. This should be a two-way street. I can't force people to jump into the comments with these things. Some of it is private. I would never share y'all stories, and I think y'all know that. That's probably why y'all reach out to me the way you do. I just want to let y'all know that I'm here. Like through all of this stuff, we grow and we learn. It's a lot that we could talk about. It's a lot I want to talk about, and some things I don't need to. But at the same time, like, there's always something to talk about. Like, I say that all the time. Because it's true, But again, it'll be a lot more to come. I appreciate like overwhelming love and support that I got from people once they started finding out what happened. Whether they knew a lot or a little, a lot of people reached out to me and just checked on me. Look, my hospital room was so full that like I had nurses scared to come in because it was just packed. So I appreciate the love that I got during like a real time of need. There's been a lot of things that happen with a lot of people. There's times where I said, look, I show up for a lot of people and they don't show up for me. So thank you for making me feel special for once. You know, it was a horrible situation, but I'm doing better. And they're giving me a year timeline for full recovery. I don't think it's going to take that long. That sounds like a challenge to me. So I'm getting this area set up and I'm trying to figure out how to work out some of the things that I already had planned that kind of got postponed. We'll see how we get to it. We'll see how my mind is through this journey and how I push myself to just work, do better, and be better. That's always the goal. Thank you for your time. I love you, and I'm up out of here. Well, I ain't going nowhere, but I'm out of here though.